to Hamburg to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the Hamburg airport. It will be a direct flight that will take about 4 hours and 30 minutes. Captains Jaskari and Niemi sit at the controls of our DC-3, the Oscar Hotel Lima Charlie Hotel Airveteran. There are only 19 of us according to the restrictions set by the Finnish Aviation Authority. There are some aviation-minded tourists like my wife and I, 4 retired former DC-3 captains, 1 former DC-3 hostess, some German and Finnish journalists, and of course the rest of the crew. Mr. Falström is our flight mechanic. We are still over Finland and fly above typical Finnish scenery with large woods. The flight is sponsored because Hamburg was an important spot of the Finnair routes already in the times of the Junkers 52s and the DC-3s. However, the small amount of passengers means a return fare as high as about 760 euros per person. But it also means plenty of room and thus added comfort. I was asked by one of the foreign journalists why I thought it was such a fun to travel by an old plane like this. Well, see for yourselves. No hurry, a cozy atmosphere, good friends around, plenty of room to move around, time to relax and to admire the scenery that slowly glides under us, only a couple of miles below. Eventually we arrive at Hamburg and land. We park at the side of an Antonov AN2 and look around. Two of the German guests pose in the Airveteran Club caps. The captains are photographed by the press. Our cabin chief Jukka Huhtala is interviewed by the radio. From the airport we moved to the park hotel situated in the northern suburb of Norstedt. Now is a good time to get a family portrait of the group before retiring to our rooms. Next day we take the train and the bus to the airport. Onkohan kukaan kokeillut?
Se on ihan järkeenkäypä juttu.
In a big city you usually see pedestrians mixing with the cars, but here it is pedestrians mixing with aircraft. It is interesting to see the Haviland Dragon Rapid. In the late 30s, Finnair bought 2 rapids. After the war, as a schoolboy, I once helped to unload a shipment of strawberries from a Dragon Rapid at a small countryside airfield at Hollola in central Finland. That is why this dragonfly is a nostalgic sight for me. Is this a miniature Havre-York or what? A black and yellow Dornier puts up a low altitude show. Selälleen. My wife takes a break while the Haviland dove taxis by. Or is it a heron? Always when I see this Airbus variant, I wonder whether it is a cargo container attached to an aircraft or whether it is an aircraft attached to a cargo container. Would this nicely painted twin-boom job be a Norratlas? Search me, but the Airveteran seems to look upon it like saying, dig those young guys.
Aber so ein 3000 Kubikmeter Ballon hat immer eine Höhe von 30 Metern.
Some like it red. I admit that there are quite a lot of DC-3 scenes in this video. But considering we came on one, what else would you expect?
Flugzeuge des damaligen Ostblocks hier und heute im Westen immer wieder überall zu erleben.
Aika matalissa muuten.
Joo.
Ei ole mikään 300 metri.
Ei. This museum Junkers 52 is for the Germans even more than what our Airveteran DC-3 is for the Finns. That is natural as the Junkers had been even constructed and built in Germany. Must get it on video. After all, my wife had her first flight in a Finnair 52 in 1939, and so did I in 1947. In 1988 we both were on a sightseeing flight in this German Junkers at Helsinki, and in 1993 I was lucky to get a ride in it from Reval to Helsinki. So both the type and this particular aircraft feel like old friends.
Miten ne enää huomenna pystyy meille esittämään, nyt on noin parhaat olla?
Joo. Kiiltää kauniisti.
Tulee mutta aika hyvä mahdollinen.
Joo. This is a good air show as the planes make long flights at low altitudes. That way one gets nice pictures of them from different angles. This is something. The 52 is escorted by another aircraft from the same era, a Messerschmitt Typhoon. Charles Lindbergh would have been glad to see this reborn spirit of St. Louis.
Tigermotin lentokäsikirja, kun nehän käytti sitä kans aikoinaan oikeastaan.
Niin.
Siinä luki pakkolaskun veteen.
Niin.
Siinä sanottiin silleen, että se kannattaa tehdä tämmöisellä kaksitasolla niin kuin Tigermotti, niin hyvin loivassa kaarissa. Silleen, että silti ottaa esteeksi veteen ennen kuin telin. Silloin se kääntää.
Would there ever have been all these airliners from the DC-3s to the present-day passenger jets if there would not have been a Lindbergh to begin with?
Und so geht es nicht nur mit der Spirit, so geht es auch mit der DC-3, der Rundflüge. Das sind keine Firmenmaschinen, sondern es
This Messerschmitt Typhoon we saw to escort the Junkers is one of the rare birds of the show. Always when the Scandinavian DC-3s from Norway, Sweden, Denmark and Finland come together, the meeting tends to turn into a beauty contest. Mirror, mirror on the hangar wall, which one of our DCs is the shiniest of them all?
Nur knapp 4,5 Kilometer verfehlt. Günther, man sollte auch erwähnen, dass
The cafeteria tents are rather modest, but they serve good beer and tasty sausages, and what is best, we get it all free with our guest passes. What a nice toy chopper to pedal around with.
Musik in der Lärmschutzhalle, nicht nur 90. Geburtstag, sondern auch.
Aina tulee joku teltan katto eteen.
Meni aikaa vaikka mennään hotelliin.
Niin kauhean pitää kävellä.
The Swedes group at the side of their DC-3 called Daisy and painted in the old SAS livery. There are altogether 5 DC-3s present, and the top of the Hamburg airshow will undoubtedly be their formation flight. It is sheer history and brings up memories of the great Normandy invasion or the Berlin early.
über 21 Stunden bis...
Mutta sitten taas sivuperäisin niillä on lukittu vähän vinkkeliin, niin kuin näet.
Joo.
Se lähti pois silloin, kun paino sitten.
Ja, aber Günther, noch ganz kurz, wir müssen schon langsam hier auf die Uhr schauen. Wir haben um 11 Uhr in der neuen Lärmschutzhalle. Ganz kurz noch, Günther. Es ist bekannt, man kann es nachlesen, Charles Lindbergh hat es auch.
Let us take a look at their takeoff preparations. They taxi out one by one towards the runway. I ask somebody why all of them have their flaps down and get the explanation that this is to prevent sand and pebbles from blowing into the next plane's props. I do not see too many pebbles flying, at least over this bit of the taxiway, but of course it is always good to take care. They have a point there, taking care. But then why does even the last one in the line have its flaps down? You tell me.
Habt ihr noch Chance, jetzt Spirit of St. Louis zu sehen, oder ist es schon wieder unten?
Die dürften also schon wieder gelandet sein, aber wir werden uns jetzt beeilen, rauszukommen, weil der Zeitplan im Moment ein bisschen eng ist und wir hoffen, dass wir noch so rechtzeitig da sind, dass wir die DC-6-Formation noch in der entsprechenden und gebührenden Form ansagen und kommentieren können.
Ganz schnell rausgehen, und wenn wir fahren, wollen wir wieder ankommen und schließen, weil wir in Hamburg sind.
One by one they take to the air to form up for the formation flyby. Some of them take a longer takeoff run, some take a shorter one.
De har ju inte övat så att det här är ju spännande för dem. Nu kommer den där. De går hårdare än...
Ja. Here goes our Airveteran. Rekkaäven. The 5 DC-3s approach for the first flyby, but the formation could be tighter. What I call number 5 lags so much behind that it is difficult to get them all in the same shot.
Diese Flugzeuge aus verschiedenen Nationen auf so einer Airshow zu bekommen. Ja, Günther, man kann ruhig mal erwähnen, wo sie herkommen. Zum Beispiel schon hier, meine Damen und Herren, über uns hier die Position 5-mal DC-3. Und dahinter der Hubschrauber, der macht hier jetzt die Live-Bilder. Da ist eine Kamera vor Ort, sind jetzt alles gefilmt. Das ist wirklich einmalig. Günther, wann haben wir das letzte Mal gesehen? Ich kann mich gar nicht erinnern.
Eine DC-3 der South Coast Airways, das ist die rot lackierte, rot-silber, die hier ja Rundflüge macht. 1943 gebaut.
When the DCs circle the airport for a new pass, we get even a side view of their formation.
Das nimmt dann die Transal eben mal mit, wenn sie also einen Mittelstreckenflug macht. Ne?
Das ist richtig, ja. Da
kann man die Entwicklung dann auch ablesen. Ne? Gut, dann haben wir hier noch eine aus Renerne, Verlöse. Eine DC-3, die auch eine ganz interessante Geschichte hat. Einsätze bei der US Air Force, norwegische Luftwaffe, Skandinavien Airlines System, also der SAS. Und dann wurde sie...
Another pass, and now the formation is tighter. The Finnish Airveteran is the second from the left.
Und die schauen auch mal nach unten und die sehen das, wenn hier unten Bewegung ist, wenn hier gewunken wird und sie ihnen damit...
Ja, Günther, über 60 Jahre Luftfahrtgeschichte, gerade hier am Himmel, über Flughafen Hamburg. Das ist gigantisch. Ja, der Hubschrauber, das ist das Geräusch, was da jetzt nicht so hingehört.
Mihinkäs päin se Airveteraani nyt on?
Se on varmaan noin vasemmalta toinen.
Vasemmalta toinen, jaha. Practice pays, quite obviously. Now they have a really nice formation. Even the dark cloud background is dramatical enough.
Nyt on hyvä muodostus.
Niin no, joo. Ja hyvä taustakin. Kolme menee tossa ja kohta mahtuu mukaan kaksi muutakin.
Vier Nationen, eine ohne es geübt zu haben. Die haben sich hier zusammengefunden.
Ja, Historia.
Der Kapitäne dort an Bord mit ihren Crews, ihren Mitgliedern an Bord.
4, missä on 5?
Aber die haben Formationswechsel gemacht, ne?
So wie es aussieht, ja.
This is the last pass and clearly it is the best.
Ja, auch ein bisschen versetzt, Günther, etwas hintereinander.
One almost waits that paratroopers will start raining from them.
Das geht nur mit Leuten, die das professionell betreiben.
Nyt rupeaa menee laskuun. The wind has changed 180 degrees. What was a headwind at their takeoff would now be a tailwind. So the DCs are going to land from this opposite direction. One by one they turn left to change their V formation into a line.
Mutta mä epäilen, että tulisiko ne tuolta tänne päin?
Vielä kerran.
Tyyni keli, että ne voi tulla tuolta.
Ja, dahin.
Mirror, mirror on the hangar wall. I wish I could see who will make the best landing of them all.
Nur 9 Zylinder hintereinander.
Sataa. Here we have another example of formation flying. Two Texan trainers buzz the place wingtip to wingtip. The modern video cameras are so idiot safe that they have become sort of idiots themselves. There is no focus ring you could manually set at infinity. The cameras want to focus automatically, but however, they are not capable of keeping fast-moving aircraft sharp in focus all the time, and especially if the objects are not quite close.
Mit Verstellpropeller ausgestattet hatten, damit dieser Vogel also wirklich allen Anforderungen der damaligen Zeit, was die Konstrukteure sich jetzt einmal darunter auch vorstellten, gerecht wurde. Und das war schon eine enorme technische Leistung, mit so einer Ausstattung Anfang der 30er Jahre herumzufliegen.
One can already feel that people and the planes are preparing for a homeward trip. Now it is time to secure last-minute detail pictures of the antennas or the tail wheel assemblies or whatever.
Nicht hören, aber sehen. Winken Sie vielleicht den beiden mal zu soeben gelandet.
Even airshows come to an end and we climb into the Airveteran to return home. What a nice thing that the rain starts only now. No jet manners here. The Airveteran lifts from the ground in a dignified way and starts a shallow climb. The media people have been left at Hamburg, and in their place we have picked up some new Finns who had flown down the more usual jetway in order to get a ride back on the Airveteran. After the takeoff, there is a short birthday ceremony. One of the eager beavers of the club celebrates his 60th anniversary. What would be a suitable present to somebody who already has everything, like even a Maserati?
Semmoista, mitä ei kaupasta ihan helposti saa. Ja se on tällainen.
Well, what else than a well-polished DC-3 piston?
Sitä voi sovitella sitten eri moottoreihin, mitä sulla on. Sitä Maserattiin sitä
There is not much more to tell of the flight home. While we crossed the Swedish coast, I let the camera roll, not so much to capture the outside view than to record the in-flight sounds of the DC-3 interior. By the way, I used this part of the soundtrack at the beginning of the video as a background for the main titles. Of course you knew you had heard exactly the same humming and brumming somewhere before. Just think how many DC passengers have seen the world like this. Slightly above the scattered clouds, sunshine and a landscape where one can see even details thanks to the old-time cruising altitude. For some reason, people seem to like it at the back of the cabin, even so that the pilots remark about it. The ship gets tail heavy that way.
Valittaa, että kun takana on paino. Valittaa, kun on takana paino.
Typical Finnish landscape again when we approach the Helsinki-Vantaa airport. Backwood dwellers and frontiersmen through our history, we do not like to be fenced in, and we frown upon densely populated areas like this. No wonder we call this the congested part of our country. We are on the short finals and note that there is quite a lot of construction work going on at the airport as a new runway is being built. Slowly and softly we sink downwards. Here comes the flare out. And here comes the touchdown and one more touchdown, followed by a bit of applause as the plane slows down and we roll towards the apron. Here we are back at home again. The Airveteran has made it once more.